Morning, Gary here. Help. I've been working on this here Whirlpool. See that? Tell something's wrong with it right there. Got the lid lock on. Anyway, I bought that thing 2 years ago. It might not even be 2 years old. All right. Started having issues with it. I go online. I do the diagnostics. They have codes you can punch in there, and they'll kind of give you an idea what's wrong. I test the water pump, put a water pump in it, Started working for a little bit again. Quit working again. Just over the course of 3 weeks. So I buy a lid latch for it. Just put a lid latch in it. Works for a little bit. Quits working. Says the doggone switch is bad. It's got a bad solenoid switch for the cycle selector. So I ordered a new solenoid switch for the cycle selector. I put that in, I punch in all the codes. You got to punch in these codes. You have to reset the machine. When the machine resets, you got to lift the lid, shut the lid back down, and then it's all done. The cycle's done. You can use your machine, okay? I do it. It works for about another freaking, I don't know. Didn't quite get through the full cycle, Whirlpool, your shit sucks. And I'm not just going to say that. Your shit sucks. Because 99% of the things that I buy today suck. They're junk. Nothing is made good anymore. You're buying a maintenance product when you buy anything nowadays. It's all junk. Back when I was a kid, you could buy something and it would last 20 years at least. I bought a washer and dryer from Whirlpool when I first moved out. I bought a mobile home, and I think I was about 23 at the time when I bought my mobile home, and I bought a brand new one. I think it was $369 or something, or it was for washer and dryer, and something like that. And anyway, I got about 20 years out of it. I had 3 boys. So constantly doing laundry because you got boys. So anyway, I got rid of that. My wife wanted this fancy Bosch washer and dryer. So I was like, I'll buy that fancy Bosch washer and dryer for my wife. That's what she wants. So I'll get her what she wants. So I get her that. That lasted maybe 3 years. Junk. Sorry, Bosch. It just is what it is. That's when you guys first started making junk. When the world was changing from nice, good stuff to junk stuff. Transitioning into junk. That's what I call it, a transition. So anyway, I go out and I got pissed, and I'm like, I bought just a used set, an old used set from somebody offline, and I threw that in the house. My wife was pissed because it was a used set and it wasn't, but that shit worked for a long time. And then I'm like, well, I'm gonna go buy another brand new set. So I'll go over and I buy her this set. Like I say, it's maybe not quite 2 years old, or it's close to 2 years. It's anyway, I buy it for this piece of shit junk. Whirlpool, you can't get your shit together, or any other companies. You people just love ripping the American people off. You love ripping people off so that you can put that extra money in your pocket. That's what it is, Pay your CEOs high dollars so they can have fancy yachts and fancy this. It doesn't matter if the guy busting his ass every single day to get enough money to buy your product, to have the piece of shit break so you can screw them again and offer them, oh yeah, they say to me, I call them up and everything. Oh, well, we can give you a warranty for, I think it was like almost $400 for a warranty, Whirlpool. Why would I want to spend $400 almost, or even $300 or $200 on a warranty for your junk? Why would I want to keep shoveling money into your shit? Not just you, but all these companies, all your products, it went downhill. It's all junk. It's hard, Back in the 50s and 60s, people gave a shit about everything, man. You bought something that was going to last. Like, I do upholstery for a living. I own my own business, okay? I make something for you, that shit's going to last. It does. And you know what? If it don't last, something happens, I fix it. No, that's just how I am. I've always been that way, you know? I don't know why a multi-million-dollar company, you know, or probably billion-dollar company, who knows nowadays, can't stand behind their shit. It's just, hey, man, you know, get out the Vaseline, mister. You know, we're going to help you out. We'll just slide it in nice and softly. We'll give it to you gently. You people need to get your crap together. So I got a little pissed, you know, I'm a little pissed off. Anyway, and I might not be done with your product yet. You know, I might have a really nice video for you guys. It just depends on my mood and where I want to go with it. So we're going to see, okay? Anyway, I went online and I went to ChatGPT and I says, hey, what is the best washer and dryer that I could buy today that will last, that isn't a piece of junk? Okay? And boom, within seconds, ChatGPT says, Speed Queen makes the best, you know, washer and dryer, you know, that is out there. They make the best one. It's commercial grade. It's the best. It would guarantee to last you 25 years. So I check into Speed Queen. You know, I don't know how they do it. I don't know if they're a bigger company or a smaller company than you guys, but they offer a 7-year warranty, I think it was, something like that, you know, and they're guaranteed to last 25 years. So, I mean, they say they'll last 25 years. They don't guarantee it, but they say it'll last 25 years. You know, which I believe in because they don't have all that fancy crap. They put the dials on there and everything. So I do believe that their stuff will last. You know, all this new stuff is junk. So for my advice to anybody out there, if you're going to be out there and you're going to buy a new, you know, washer or dryer, don't buy this cheap junk that you get at all these stores. Just go and do your research and buy something really good. Don't buy junk. If you buy junk, you're gonna wish you bought something good because you're gonna be like 2 years later, just like me, shoving parts in it, or paying for warranties, or paying for this, or paying for that. You might as well just go get the good shit and tell these big companies you're gonna bend over and then kiss somewhere in the middle. You know, that's exactly what you need to do. Us Americans, we gotta stand up. We've had enough of this crap. It needs to end, you know. And the only way it's ever going to end is if we all stand up and say, we're done with your junk. You know, don't sell us junk. We want good stuff, you know. Make it right. Don't make junk. But, you know, people walk around in the days, you know. It's never going to happen. Get your shit together. You people work hard. You go to work every day, and you work your ass off. And when you buy something, you spend all them hours. You add up all the hours that you had worked to go buy that product. How many days or weeks or whatever it takes you, okay? And you ask yourself, is it really worth it? You know, these companies need to be held accountable. You know, this stuff's getting way out of hand. So anyway, have a good one, man. Hope you have a good day. I'm going to have a good day because I don't really give a shit about Whirlpool. I'm going to work on this thing today. Probably do a little work on this. You know, and when I get done doing what I'm going to do in here, you know, it's going to be nice and it's going to last them until he either crashes it or burns it. So, you know what I mean? Because I'm not Whirlpool. Have a good one, guys.